All right, so our math problem says, and you guys can see it in front of you on your whiteboards, it says Sam has 8 apples. He gave 5 of his friends an apple. How many apples does he have left? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to circle the important words. Who can tell me one important word, the first important word that we need to find in this? Yeah, we need to know the number, so we should circle 8. Who can tell me another important word that we need to single out in here? Yeah, gave. And 5. Yeah, those are the most important ones on here. So I have actual apples in front of me. So I'm going to count out 8 apples. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 apples. You might not have apples in front of you, so if what you want to, you can add 8 dots at the bottom of your paper. So you could also do 8 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So those can be your 8 apples if you want to do it that way. So when it says that he has 8 apples, so that's how many Sam starts with, right? He has all 8 of his apples here. He gave 5 to his friends. So does that mean that we're adding some to them? Or are we subtracting some of the apples? It means subtracting. Yeah, so we can put a minus sign right under here for us to remind us. And if you want to, you can go ahead and write out the equation over here so that way you can see that too. So how many does he have? Right, he has 8 apples. And we said that gave means we're minusing, we're subtracting, so you can go ahead and put a little subtraction. And how many is he giving away? How many friends is he giving them to? And how many apples is that then? 5. He is giving 5 of his friends an apple. So that means he's giving away 5 apples. And the end of the question says how many are left. So that means equal. All right. So I'm going to take away how many apples? 5. So when I take away an apple, feel free to cross out one of your circles down here. Okay? For each apple. So I'm taking away 1 apple. So go ahead and cross out one of those dots. I'm taking away another apple. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out a dot again. I'm taking away another apple. And then, so we've taken away how many apples so far? 3. So how many more do we have? 2. So we're taking another one. And then 1 more apple, right? All right. So look at your dots that you have down here and see how many apples you think we have left. And then we'll count my actual apples to make sure that we're right. Yeah, so you guys say that we have 3 apples left. I see that I had 3 apples left in my dots down here, but I'm just going to count my actual apples just to be sure. I have 1, 2, 3 apples left. So I'm going to go ahead and write 3 down here. And it's 3 apples. So I'm going to put apples at the end here so that way I just know what I'm talking about. Also, since it's a word problem, do you think we should answer with a sentence or just with our equation? Yeah, I think we should answer with a sentence too. So I'm going ahead and write out what is his name again? Sam. So we'll put Sam has how many apples? 3 apples left. And that answers our question. Sam has 3 apples left. Perfect. We'll try one more. Let's go ahead and erase your boards. a bigger eraser out. We'll do another word sentence. This time we can use something that might happen in real life. Let's think. In school. Perfect. I have an idea. We'll put Rob has 2 erasers. And Bill has 4 erasers. How many erasers does Rob and Bill have total? Have together. We'll put together. All right. So we have our word problem here. So it says Rob has 2 erasers and Bill has 4 erasers. How many erasers does Rob and Bill have together? So who can tell me our first important word in this sentence? Go ahead. Yeah, we need to know that 2 erasers, that's important information. That Rob has 2 erasers. What's another important information? Bill has 4 erasers. You're right. And then what else should we keep in mind when looking at this word problem? You're right. Together. Why is that important? Yes, that is important because together means if we're going to add or subtract, what are we going to do? We're going to add. So let's go ahead and write out our word problem down here. So adding. So what are we adding? Yes, we are adding Rob's erasers to Bill's erasers to see how many they have in total. How many erasers does Rob have? You can look back that we circled it up here. 2 erasers. So we're going to go ahead and put a 2 right here. And how many erasers does Bill have? Yes, he has 4 erasers. And we're going to figure out how many they have together. So that's what it's going to equal. So I unfortunately don't have any erasers with me. But what we can do is I'm going to put out dots for how many erasers Bill has and how many erasers Rob has. So you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to do squares this time because a square reminds me of an eraser. But you can use a circle as well if you want. So for Rob's, I'm going to put his name so I know that it's his erasers. How many does he have? Can someone tell me? Who remembers? Yeah, you can go back to what we circled. And he has 2. So I'm just going to put 2 squares for Rob's erasers. How many and then I'm going to write Bill because we're doing both of them, right? So I'll put Bill. Show you what I'm doing here. So you see I put Rob just so I know that those are his erasers. And then I have Bill right over here. Who can look back at the word problem and tell me how many erasers Bill has? Yes, he has 3 erasers, or 4 erasers, sorry. Yeah, you can go, I'm gonna go ahead and make my squares. You can make your circles or your squares to show how many he has. So since we're adding them together, what are we going to do? Are we going to count all of them? Are we going to take some away from the other? How are we going to do that? Yes, we are going to add them together. So let's go ahead and count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and count yours to see how many you have. Go ahead. Yeah, we have 6. So I'm going to go ahead and write, where am I going to add my 6 to on here? Who can tell me? And my equation, where am I going to put 6 at? Go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to put it after the equal sign. I'm going to put 6 right there. And then what are we counting? Erasers. And if you don't know how to spell it, you can go back up to the important words that we circled up here for the problem. Because erasers is in it. So go ahead and write 6 erasers. So if it's a word problem, are we going to answer it with just an equation, or should we answer it with a sentence as well? We should write it in a sentence as well. Go ahead and write what you think your sentence should say, and then I'm going to see if we both come up with the same things. Go ahead and write it down, and then we're going to hold them up. All right, can you guys go ahead and hold up what yours say? Awesome. So mine's pretty similar to all of yours. You guys did so good. Mine says, Bill and Rob have 6 erasers in total. So you could say in total or together, and they even out about the same thing. So now whenever you read a word problem, what is the first thing that you're going to do? So maybe make it a little easier. Yeah, you're going to go through and write the important words. Go ahead and put a big circle around them so that way you can go back and refer to it and it's easy to find them. And then I would use manipulatives. So that means if you have something in front of you like apples or something like that, you can use them and move them around. Or if you don't have any of that, like I did it my second turn, you can just go ahead and draw out for a visual. All right, good job, guys.